I want to begin by, first of all, saying sorry to TikTokers. I'd like to apologize to you guys. Personally, I'm going to apologize because I believe that it's important for any adult to take responsibility and take stock of any actions or anything that we do on this platform. Mnisamehe. I'm just going to apologize. First of all, I'm going to apologize because I chose not to do due diligence in time. I'm going to apologize for not doing what I needed to do on time. And I'm going to apologize to all the mothers on this platform and every person who was committed to supporting Winnie, or Janice, as her real name says. I'm going to apologize because if I had done this before, no matter what backlash I would have received, perhaps things would not have ended up where they've ended up today. So I'm going to apologize and say that I'm completely sorry for taking on issues of accountability and talking about doing due diligence and verification, and then on the same breath failing to do it on time. Because perhaps, maybe if I did that on time, or if I talked about it when we brought out the issue of Janice here, the first time ile maneno ya kafara ilitokea, perhaps maybe things would have been different today. So I'm sorry. I hope that you do forgive me, TikTokers. Now, before I begin to say anything else, I'm going to tell you a little background story about what is happening. You all know that Winnie came here and talked to you about wanting to help and raise money for her child that was sick. So I did not have the documents, and she sent me the documents. She sent me the documents after she had started moving around platforms saying that she has sent me documents. So there was a live that was opened, and then I managed to get people to share the live, and she came and sent me the documents, guys. And so I got an opportunity to actually go through the documents. I remember talking to Kunilicious over the weekend, and she asked me if I was going to do the fundraising, and I told her I'm not going to do the fundraising until I verify the documents, because I believe it is my responsibility to make sure that before I decide to take up on mchango on my platform, which I was supposed to do on Sunday, I need to verify the documents. So I took my time, and the first thing I did was to verify and find out the real identity of Winnie and who she is, or if her children ever died, and her husband, or the man that poses on TikTok as her husband. And I verified these documents, and that is why I tried to give Winnie an opportunity to talk on that live, to at least even own up and say that, you know, there were problems. I tried to be as kind as possible, and I even said that it's okay, you have an opportunity to get the documents right. If all of you remember, that is what I did, and that is what I said. Unfortunately, when I opened that live and we talked about these issues, most TikTok platforms decided to bully me. You decided to call me names. You decided to body shame me very viciously. And I'm not worried about myself. I wasn't worried about myself. I was really worried about the other women who may not have gone through bullying like me. And you chose to actually bully them together with me. So to all those women also, I apologize. And I want to just thank all the women that actually stood by me, the women that actually stood by me, the women and men that stood by me on this platform. Those who went out of their way and they were willing to be blocked when the bullying was vicious. So thank you for standing by me. And I'm gonna say that it's got to be the most shameful thing that I have been involved in. I am just completely ashamed because I am pro women, and to have this kind of manipulation, this callousness, these lies come from a woman puts me in a difficult place, a very difficult place. So I say that this live is going to talk about mental illness and mental health. Guys, we seem to be dealing with a person who is struggling with a mental disorder. And because of that, I'm going to be very careful not to punch more holes because I do not want anything to happen to her. And I'm going to send this word out to Winnie. I'm going to tell you, Janice, because that is your real name. I am not your enemy. I want you to get the help and the support that you need. And I understand what you may be going through. It's difficult, and that you may be behaving the way that you're behaving because of other things that have happened in your life. And I'm so sorry that it has ended up this way. I'm going to apologize to Kerubo because the documents of your child was stolen from Mama Lucy Hospital, and that is what was used to give us every detail. So I'm going to say I'm sorry. I choose not to put documents for minors here because this case is now being handled with the Children's Department. It is shocking, guys. I do not know how else to put this. But Winnie worked with a few people here on TikTok. And I'm going to mention their names because it's important that I do. So what Winnie did, I'm going to give you a background of what she did. She chose to, first of all, make sure she has a good story. And her story was around congenital heart disease. Because congenital heart disease can be genetic, and therefore it meant that she had an explanation of why she had other children, quote unquote, dying. So the first time she came on TikTok, she went to a few platforms that did not pay attention to her. But she kept on pushing. And she's also created a lot of pseudos here on TikTok that kept on pushing her agenda and moving around on this platform to say how much she needed help, and other people who are confirming that she had lost children before. As we speak, there is no death notification about Winnie's child as we speak, or Janice's child. I await to see it, and I'm making this very clear. I am making it clear that I am still awaiting to receive a death notification about the death of Janice or Winnie's child. Hopefully she can provide that to us. I have not received it. I'm waiting for it to be produced because the death notification is what is going to confirm to us that her child is dead. It's very important that moving forward, we don't say that her child is dead until we see the death notification. And this is just a word of caution I'm throwing to TikTokers. Until any of you see the death notification, please do not say or claim that a child is dead. We need to have that paperwork, and I'm still appealing to you. Please, if you can, find a person that you trust so that you can send that notification to them so that that is also cleared. Currently, I am not going to say whether the child is dead or alive because I have not seen that death notification, guys. I have not seen it. And Winnie had come to tell us on the platform that her child had died when we were live together. Between the time that I was questioning her and the time that people on that platform asked her to show the children, she dropped. And then exactly 52 minutes later, she came to announce that her child had died. And exactly 52 minutes later, guys, as TikTokers, how is it possible that her child had died in a hospital? She was live with us on that live. And then immediately her child died in the hospital. What time did she go to the hospital? What time was the child admitted? And if her child died in the hospital, there is no hospital that can release a dead child to a mother. If the child died in the hospital, there has to be a notification that is given to her, and there has to be a transfer process of a body of a child from one hospital to another. All of these things could not have happened within 52 minutes, to the point that she was already in a car showing us the dead child. It's not possible, guys. Not humanly possible. So I had said earlier that the documents that she produced were all fake, and it is true. I know that a lot of you went to punch me, called me names, and bullied me, but it's because I had already verified that she took documents from another mother who she got the documents from. The documents showing are from Mama Lucy Hospital. I don't know how she had access to those. Bado ndio tunachunguza tujue alizipata wapi. Na hizo documents zikakuwa edited, and she inserted the name. And she inserted the name. And she inserted the names of her child. Process. When they were doing the editing, ndio akasahau alikuwa anatengeneza jina ya mtoto, anaweka Mbugwa, anasahau, anaweka master, anasahau, alafu anaweka different names for different documents. Another thing I'd like to clarify, because I have already gotten that information, Winnie did not go to India on a medical tourist visa. She did not go to India on a medical tourist visa. She went to India as a visitor. She did not go to India on a medical tourist visa. She went to India as a visitor. Because the documents that you need to actually go on a medical tourist visa are given to you by the Medical Practitioners and Dentist Board. That referral letter comes from the Medical Dentist and Practitioners Board, and that referral letter is also signed by your provider in Kenya. She said that she went to Kenyatta National Hospital. She should have had a referral letter that has been approved by the Kenya, Dentist Medical and Practitioners Board, and that letter should have included the diagnosis and the referral that was from Kenya to India. The letters that Winnie produced, they only contained a letter from KNH and then a referral to India. There is no way a doctor in Kenya would make a referral to a country. Doctors in Kenya make referrals to other doctors and other institutions. They don't make referrals to countries. So her letter indicates that she had received a referral letter to go to India, and that is a lie. Another clarification I'd like to make, that Winnie's or Janice's child did not have any heart disease. It never happened. that wasn't there. So somebody had sent me some recordings, and I believe currently I'm trading very, very carefully because it seems like we are dealing with a person who was not just working alone, but she worked with other people here. Now, JB and Pesh were some of the people that she worked with, and that is why they decided to actually defend and protect her. The only reason why JB and Pesh are pulling out at this moment is because they have realized that things are not going to favor them at all. So JB was involved, Pesh was involved, because I'm going to say it out as it is, because they have claimed to be team accountability. But remember, they sat on information about this lady and her travel to India, and the Google pictures, and the passports and the real names of the child. And they never shared it before. When you choose to be silent, when something wrong is going on, it means you are okay with what is going on. And that is why I'm going to say it here boldly and without fear that JB and Pesh were directly involved in this scandal because they chose not to pay attention to the details, and even after they had gotten information, when they started asking questions, they still did not come out clearly and say that, guys, we need to actually take a pause. Now, another disappointment I'm going to give to you is Priscilla Waimani. Priscilla was actually involved in this, and she's also been used by many people, guys. And I think the way that she got involved was, just getting little tokens here and there. She acts as like a recruiter, a person that identifies people who are on TikTok and need help. So that is what happened. And I'm repeating, the reason why I am tying JB and Pesh with this scandal is because they chose to be silent when they had information that was troubling about Winnie, and they did not talk about it. That is why I'm putting them in this scandal. Because when you are a cartel, you sit on vital information that should protect TikTokers, and you choose silence. Even after I had come to say that the documents were fake, JB and Pesh still insisted on bullying me and saying that I'm a liar, and they chose to say that I wanted the child dead. And they had information about this woman being very problematic. The only time that JB and Pesh changed was when I opened my live and retaliated their bullying. So anytime you have information about someone that is disturbing and you choose to sit on it, you are part of that cartel. So you cannot actually remove yourself from this thing. Now, all of the people you saw on that platform, one way or another, and I'm going to call you guys out. Anybody that chose to protect Winnie is part of the cartel that enabled Winnie and her behavior on this platform. That includes Jacqueline, that includes Peter Kioi, and all those platforms that were actually bullying and trying to say that Diana is a liar. Now, she's now the leader who is directing things on this app. All these platforms that you see have come up here. They are just platforms that are being used to actually identify and find people wenye wanaweza kutumia na kuwaibia na kupata pesa kwa hii platform. That is what is happening. Unasikia? And that is the truth about what is happening. Because why would you protect what you don't know? Why would you defend what you don't know? Why would you defend what is not verified? Why? Why would you attack Diana for asking for verification? Why would you gang up? And the reason why they ganged up is because they thought they would silence me. And I refused to be silenced. I refused to be silenced. Even people who are from the medical field decided to sit on a platform and lie and claim that a child had congenital heart disease. Children in Kenya who are born with holes in the heart, it is known when they are born. Kenya has a system that actually is able to identify when a child has a hole in the heart when they are born. So I don't know why people think that Kenya is in a place where these things cannot be found out. We do have at least 10,000 cases of congenital heart disease that happen in Kenya at least each year. We have specialist hospitals that take care of these issues. So there was no way that actually Kenya would have made a referral for we need to go to India for a lung issue. It's not possible, guys. It doesn't. So those of you who actually sit and protect and whip up these lies, I'll just say shame on you. Shame on you for what you did. So Winnie was using pseudonyms. Even the documents she showed you about her passports and everything, all of those were fake. Munasikia? She is one of the most complex individuals and manipulative and psychotic individuals that I ever encountered. And the fact that she did it with a straight face, and then the cartels enabled her to a point that she started saying, I'm using her for content. The cartels enabled her to a point where she was actually saying she has the people who are supporting her. They even, at some point, Big Daddy is also part of the problem here. Big Daddy is also part of that team of cartels on TikTok. And I'm going to call you guys out. And you are even giving directions of the platforms that she needs to go to. Mnamwambia platforms zenye anafaa kuenda na platforms zenye hafai kuenda. Before Winnie came to the platform to give me the documents, Winnie had already been contacted by Jacqueline, by Big Daddy, by other people not to be in contact with me and not to send me anything. But it was too late because Winnie herself, although she was working with the cartels because she was their project, she also wanted to make sure amefanya nini? Amewakula au macartels. So she decided to come on the live and defend herself. And it was at that moment that I managed to get the documents from her. Another thing, Winnie's child was never treated in the Indian hospital. The hospital confirmed that there was no child in that hospital that was treated there. She was never treated in that hospital at all. So these documents that Winnie prepared, she prepared them this second time for the referral based on the fact that she was going to work with cartels on TikTok and get a percentage. That is what happened. So while they were in the process of doing all these things, thank you, something happened. They did not agree with Kinangara because what Ngara wanted was for Winnie to create a story about her child actually getting a surgery. But then Winnie realized that this story was not going to benefit her the moment that Shirosheri said that she's going to deposit money directly into the bank account. And that is when the problems started.